Pocari was born in Mexico? So what about Pocari? What does Pocari... Look in Marty's house, there's a can of Pocari Sweat there. Hey guys and girls on Ask Japanese, it's Kathy Cat coming out from Tokyo to you. Have you seen this drink before? Do you know this drink? This drink is called Pocari Sweat. It's a very famous drink here in Japan, and I must say the very first time I came to Japan I was like Pocari Sweat. But there's actually a reason to all of this, and today we're going to dive a little bit into the facts of Japan's most famous and popular sports drink. You might have already seen this abroad. I've seen some people have this drink abroad as well, and it's good for you when you get thirsty. It's good when you dehydrated. Apparently you should try and replenish things that you lost from sweating. And it's like Beverly comparison to Gatorade in the USA and similar things like that. We're going to find out some interesting facts about Pocari Sweat today. 1. Pocari was born in Mexico? So there was a large pharmaceutical company called Otsuka Seiyaku, and in 1980 they started selling Pocari Sweat over here. Before that, the staff was struggling coming up with new products for the pharmaceutical company. And then one day, Mr. Harima entered the meeting and he brought a bag filled with liquid. And that was actually one of the intravenous bags, when you have an tenteki. And basically, he asked the team, can we make this into a drink? Everyone at the meeting was very surprised, but Mr. Harima had a reason for that. Before that, he had been to Mexico and he kind of got an upset stomach, leading to diarrhea. So he went to the doctor, and the doctor didn't give him water or mineral water. The doctor told him to drink ginger ale. Now, ginger ale wasn't actually so good for his stomach. It, was carbohydrate, carbs. The ginger ale wasn't actually so good for him, and it was way too sweet for him, and he was thinking, there must be a better way. At the time, there was no water and mineral water for him available too, so he was wondering how to find a drink that could be easily absorbed by the body, help it replenish, and get some energy back. When Mr. Harima came back to Japan, feeling better already, he actually saw a doctor also drinking directly from one of those intravenous bags. And again, that furthered the image that there must be, or he should be, making a drink that kind of does a similar thing, replenish the body, and also help against dehydration. So Mr. Harima told Mr. Otsuka, who would afterwards become the president of the company, about his idea of putting all the good stuff that is inside one of those intravenous bags and put them into a drink. And Mr. Otsuka was, that sounds pretty good, because he already knew that Gatorade was a very popular sports drink in the USA, but this time he didn't want to make it just a sports drink, because then it would be limited just to, people who are sporty or who drink sports drinks. He wanted to make it a drink that was accessible to everyone. NEXT! So why Pocari? Why sweat? Now, sweat, apparently, according to them, was actually a meaning of something positive. It's healthy bodily functions. When someone does sport, they sweat, they move their body. So it's a symbol almost of health. And again, through sweat, you lose some electrolytes and similar things, some salts that you can then later on replenish. So sweat was actually so pretty much they wanted to let everyone know sweating is healthy and it's important. So they wanted people to recognize the importance of sweat. So what about Pocari? What does Pocari mean? I've been asked that before. I don't know. It's a completely made up word. It's onomatopoeia. It sounds good. And in Japan, the P word, the P sounds or the P syllables, papi, pupepo, they kind of sound funny. They sound, exciting, refreshing. They're kind of like light words, and they used the P sound from that one, the po. And then afterwards, for example, similar P words. Oh, for example, who's that Pokemon? Pikachu! Again, Pikachu, it's light, it's sparkling, it's happy words that kind of make people happy. And the same with the Pokari. It's just, Pikachu, Pokari. I don't know. They just came up with something that they thought would sound good and make customers want to pick this item. Yeah, Pokemon is the same thing. It's one of the papi, pupepo happy sounds. I mean, it's kind of silly, but it sounds, in the end, it's lighthearted. And maybe you can think of another papi, pupepo sound thing in the comments down below and let us know anything that you think, interesting enough. So for my speculation, Hikari, and then you have Pokari, Hikari, light, and Pokari. I think they wanted to have some kind of fun word that just goes with that sense. So it could make sense that it's just the sound, a happy P sound, and then they add the Hikari for light next to it, maybe. Now, after all of that, getting all the electrolytes and stuff into the drink, thinking of the name, the branding, and everything, they finally put out this product on the market, and it didn't do so well. It totally bombed. It totally flopped. And it wasn't really being purchased because people looked at the product and couldn't even tell, what does it taste like? What is it good for? What is it? So Mr. Otsuka actually thought, no, I believe in this drink. I believe this drink is awesome, and believed in it so much that he spent 4 billion yen giving out Pocari Sweat for free. So people would actually know what it was, drink it, enjoy it, get to know it. And guess what? After that, the numbers kept rising, and it got really popular in Japan. Similar to Red Bull. You don't quite know what the taste is. If you never try it, you don't know what to expect. And if no one knows it, no one else is drinking it. But once you have a sip, you might actually like it. Now, here for some special Pocari trivia. Pocari's popularity was already predicted in Back to the Future. Now, Pocari existed since the 1980s. And guess what? In the 1980s, also a very famous movie trilogy started, and that was Back to the Future in 1918. Now, if you think of Back to the Future, they were predicting a couple of cool trends to be happening in the year 2015. For example, hoverboards, or shoes and clothes that tie themselves or air themselves out. And they also predicted that Pocari Sweat was gonna get popular. Because if you look at Back to the Future 2 and go into the future, look in Marty's house, there's a can of Pocari Sweat there. How did they know? How did they predict that? One more trivia after you futuristic cats here. We have Pocari Sweat is based truly on sweat because the components are very similar. So about magnesium ion, we have the milli equivalent per liter. Sweat is 0.3 to 2.8. Pocari is 0.5. Just right in the middle there. Then calcium ion sweat is 0.6 to 2.8. And Pocari is 1. Right in the middle again. Then we have kalium ion sweat 3.0 to 5.6. Pocari a little bit higher at 5. And natrium sodium sweat 17 to 48. And Pocari there at 21. So they try to keep those numbers as closely to sweat as possible. What are we losing through sweat is what we also need to get back into the body. Now, if you compare the moisture in your body, if you drink water, they could show or see that 38% of the water was still retained in the body 2 hours after drinking it. And if you drank Pocari, however, it was 57%. So that was their reason for saying that it's like nutritious, it supplies the body more and helps it heal and recover a little bit more efficiently than other drinks. So Pocari is a good drink not only for sweating a lot, but it can be a drink that you can also have at any time, is what the company claimed. And I would like to let you guys know that this video is not sponsored. In case you were wondering. But this drink is really, really popular and really, really famous. Sometimes it's even served on airplanes. I've seen that before. And There's a lot of business and thinking goes into making this drink here, and maybe next time you're sick, your Japanese friends or colleagues will recommend you to drink Pocari Sweat. That happened to me a couple of times, and also when you're out in summer and you sweat a lot, people might actually suggest you to drink Pocari Sweat.
お疲れ様です。
Sweat, 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 sweat. Pocari Sweat. So that was a little trivia about Pocari Sweat. In case you're curious and you thought, what kind of weird drink? What does it taste like? I'd say maybe taste it for yourself. I think it is not as sweet as some sport drinks in the USA are. It has a little bit of a sweet flavor to it, but it also helps you replenish things. I drink it actually in summer when I get the feeling that I'm starting to get dehydrated. It's also sometimes recommended for me to drink it when I have a cold or similar things like that, because especially Japanese people seem to think like it's the all healer. They're like, you got a cold? Yes, get some Pocari Sweat. I don't know why. Japanese people love Pocari Sweat, and yeah, I drank this way too quickly. So I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe let us know if there's any sports drink in your country that you cannot live without, or if you ever tried Pocari Sweat, and if so, what do you think about it? Let us know in the comments. So here was a little bit of Japan facts data coming out from Tokyo to you. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you soon for another video here coming out from Tokyo to you, no matter where in the world you are with Ash Japanese. Catch you soon, guys. Bye!